Time skip, 3 months later. Ha 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 ha, damn right, that had to be the easiest village yet, shouted a man with an IWA headband on. He was surrounded by a little over 20 other shinobi, all with different headbands representing Mizu, IWA, and 2 from Konoha. They all had one thing in common. Their headbands all had a long slash through them, signaling their statuses as missing means. A Mizu shinobi laughed. Of course, a civilian village like that can't stop a group of shinobi, especially with our invincible leader, Aoi. Matter of fact, said the missing nin as he looked toward a cage filled with women of various ages. I think I'll take one of our captures for a spin. A few others nodded their heads in agreement and joined in. As the men approached the cage, the women screamed in fear. While that was taking place, an umbu with a toad mask appeared in the treetops above them. Directly opposite of him, another umbu in a hawk mask also appeared. To their left and right, an umbu with purple hair and a cat mask appeared along with a bird-masked umbu. The cat-masked umbu was the captain of the squad, Yugao Yuzuki, a capable kunoichi and experienced umbu captain. She is an expert kenjutsu user and the leader of the group of 4. Over a small radio, Nico, cat, began handing out orders to her squad. Gamma, secure the women and find our target, Aoi Rokusho. Torai, bird, move the women to safety. Taka and I will eliminate the rest. Go! Shouted Nico as all of the umbu sprung into action. Hurry up, Aoi, and open the gate! Shouted an angered IWA ninja toward a Konoha missing nin in a Chunin flak jacket. He looked to respond until a wooden dome appeared in front of the women, completely blocking them off from the missing nins. Gamma landed on top of that wooden dome holding the snake seal. Mokutan, Mokujihiki, with style, with locking wall, thought Gamma as Tori appeared behind the wall to get the women to safety. What? Konoha umbu! Thought Aoi as he was cut from his musings by the sound of birds chirping behind him. Aoi turned to see Taka rip through a shinobi with a chidori and Nico slice cleanly into another with her katana. Both died on the spot. Shit, they found me. Oh well. Thought Aoi as he yelled out orders. Intruders! Fight until we kill them all. The group of men cheered as they all separated to face off against their foes. Aoi pulled out what appeared to be the hilt of a sword as he looked toward the umbu standing on the domed wall. With Taka flung the dead shinobi off of his hand as he let his chidori dissipate. Upon doing so, he noticed 8 shinobis staring him down, all hailing from Mizu. Let's see if those from Mizu dance well, said Taka, turning his face to look at all of them behind his hawk mask. Dance? Whatever. You are so dead meat for killing Kajika, said one of the ninja as he went through several hand seals along with the others. Suetun, Mizurappa, water style, violent water wave, shouted the group of shinobi as they fired a powerful jet of water at the purple-masked umbu. The combined attack created a huge depression in the earth as everything in its path was destroyed. Seeing no trace of the umbu, the missing nin laughed. That sure was easy. Let's go help out the others, said the ninja as he turned to head toward another opponent. However, upon turning, he came face to face with a white mask that had an enchanting red glow coming from the eye holes. How did he survive? Thought the shinobi until he fell into a deep sleep from being placed under a genjutsu. Taka threw a kunai into his head to make sure he was finished. He then turned to the rest of the group as his hand sparked with electricity. Taka took off, tearing into the rest of the Mizu shinobi with gusto. He dealt with his group easily as they were no better than genins. With Nico, seems Aoi was hanging out with only genins. This will be an easy recapture, thought Nico as she jumped to dodge an IWA shinobi's sword slash. While still in midair, Nico swung her sword in a counterclockwise circle, leaving after images of her sword all the way around.
Oborosakiyu, Hazi Moon Knight, Said Neko.
She then swung her sword forward as she landed and sprinted through the 10 shinobi surrounding her with incredible speed. There were after images of her cutting the surrounding IWA shinobi, who all received powerful slashes or stabs in vital areas at roughly the same time seemingly, sending them to their deaths. Nico then placed her hand on her radio. Taka, when you finish up, assist Gamma. I will help Tori with getting all the women away, said Nico. Hearing a HN on the other side of the radio from Taka, she scoffed slightly. Disrespectful brat. Nico took off to assist Tori in evacuating the women as Taka went to join Gamma in facing off against Aoi and his group. With Gamma, "Hey, asshole! What the hell do you think you're doing? Those are our women," said an angered Iwa ninja as he stared at the toad-faced Umbu. Another shinobi actually managed to recognize that the Umbu used Mokutan and grew fearful. Before he could speak, the Umbu spoke first. Aoi Rokusho, Chunin level missing nin from Konoha. Wanted for stealing the Raijin no Ken, Sword of the Thunder God. Please come peacefully and you will be given a fair trial. Aoi smirked slightly. Ha, you couldn't take me back even if you used force. I know who you are. There are only 2 Mokutan users left and you're the one with the golden blonde hair. Naruto Senju, Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi. Despite your impressive skill set, you should know that this sword makes its wielder invincible, said Aoi as the sword hilt he had pulled out burst with yellow lightning taking the shape of a sword. You won't be able to stop me, no matter how much you try. This sword can cut through anything. Some of Aoi's surrounding shinobi looked conflicted. They all knew of Naruto Senju and what he was capable of. But they also knew what Aoi could do and how powerful he was with that sword. However, they didn't want to be around for the battle. Gamma didn't give them a chance to run away though. Mokutan, Shikuro no Jutsu, with style, 4-pillar prison technique, said Gamma as he flashed through 4 hand seals. A huge wooden cage rose from beneath the group of shinobi, trapping them in a wooden box. Gamma threw several kunai attached with explosive notes on both corners of the box facing him. The tags began to burn, signaling an imminent explosion. Get out! It's going to explode! Shouted an Iwa shinobi as he and several others tried breaking out of the technique. Their attempts were futile as the wood was infused with chakra and incredibly durable. Shit-boem, the wooden box exploded violently as pieces of the wooden box and body parts were thrown everywhere. Gamma scanned the surroundings to check for any survivors. Aoi had escaped the durable prison by slicing through it with his sword. There was also another ninja laying beside him with a few singes on his clothes. Seems Aoi survived, and is that another Konoha ninja? Who is that? Thought Gamma as he looked toward the still smirking Aoi. I can cut through your wood. You won't get me with a simple trick like that, said Aoi. The smaller Konoha ninja beside Aoi stood up and proceeded to run away from the danger. Idate, you coward, said Aoi as Idate began fleeing the scene, leaving just him and Gamma alone, so Aoi was turning around. He saw Gamma appear in his face with a Shunshin holding a Rasengan. Gamma's hand began to come forward as he sent his Rasengan into Aoi, who was surprised by the quick movement of the toad-faced Umbu. Aoi, though surprised, reacted quick enough to parry the jutsu with his sword. Gamma's Rasengan and Aoi's Thunder God sword clashed for a few seconds until Aoi smirked slightly. You don't seem to realize how powerful this sword is. With this sword, I am invincible, shouted Aoi as he cut through Gamma's Rasengan cleanly. The sword continued as it sliced into the Umbu's shoulder and took his arm clean off. Aoi looked pleased with the results until the Umbu in front of him turned into wood. A clone? Then where is the real one at thought Aoi until he was cut off by the sound of another Rasengan. The real Gamma was situated above Aoi as he sent Aoi crashing into the ground with a Rasengan to the back. As Aoi laid prone in the small crater created from the Rasengan, Gamma retrieved the Raijin no Ken and placed it in a sealing scroll. Gamma then placed his hands in the snake seal as he created wooden stocks around Aoi to keep him from moving. Shit, it's suppressing my chakra. I can't get out, thought Aoi as he struggled against the binds. There's no need in trying. Someone of your caliber can't break out of that with physical strength. You were nothing but a mere Chunin teacher at the academy, who couldn't hack it in Konoha and decided to go rogue. It's over, said Gamma as he then hit Aoi to send him into unconsciousness. Taka appeared back in the clearing right after Gamma knocked Aoi out. Taka had Idate, the Konoha shinobi who tried to escape earlier, slung over his shoulder. Taka had easily caught up to and subdued Idate. Upon capturing him, Idate spilled the beans about everything. From his being fooled by Aoi into stealing the Raijin no Ken, to getting forced to go rouge with him or die. Idate tried to continue, but Taka just knocked him unconscious as he didn't care anymore. Not that he cared in the first place. After Taka told Gamma about Idate, Gamma touched his radio to tell Nico, "Taicho, we have captured missing Nin, Aoi Rokusho, and retrieved the Raijin no Ken. We even caught missing Nin Idate Marino," said Naruto as he waited for a response. Gamma didn't wait long as Nico immediately responded. "Good work. I have already sent word to the retrieval team. Ibiki will be at your coordinates shortly. Once he arrives, meet us at the rendezvous point. Out." Gamma nodded his head as he waited patiently with Taka for Ibiki's arrival. After about an hour of waiting, Gamma sensed several presences nearing their position. Shortly afterward, Ibiki and several other torture and interrogation shinobi appeared. "Thank you for your work here. Your job is done. We'll take it from here," spoke Ibiki as his men went to grab Aoi and Idate. Gamma and Taka nodded as they both leaped off into the forest to meet back up with the rest of their squad. As Idate and Aoi were being taken away, Ibiki couldn't help but feel happy on the inside. One being, his little brother was still alive. Idate Marino is Ibiki's younger brother, and even though they had their differences, they were still family. The second being, the man who caused all of this, Aoi Rokusho, was now in his custody. He was the man who stole his brother away from him and scarred his head with the Raijin no Ken as he was leaving the village. Oh, Aoi was about to become Ibiki's bitch, and he would hold no mercy toward him. One day later, it was near 7 o'clock in the evening as several people were situated in the Hokage's office. Squad 3 stood in front of Tsunade's desk as Tsunade sat behind it reading their mission report. After a minute or so, Tsunade nodded her head at the results. "Another mission success. Great job, Squad 3. You have a day's rest. Dismissed," said Tsunade. At the word dismissed, the squad nodded and disappeared. Except for Gamma. Tsunade noticed him still standing there and looked confused slightly. "Hokage-sama, if we could have a word in private?" asked Gamma as Tsunade understood the seriousness behind it. Tsunade waved to her two assistants, Shizune and Sakura, that they were done for the day and could go home. As they both left, Gamma smiled behind his mask at Sakura. She had made a great impression on Tsunade and had got taken on as her pupil. Sakura was blossoming well under her guidance and had told him that she'd catch him and Sasuke soon. Sakura was determined to not get left behind. When the door to Tsunade's office shut, Naruto took off his mask and took in a deep breath. He then slumped into the chair in front of Tsunade's desk as he let that breath go. Tsunade smiled at Naruto's antics. Even though he had joined a serious organization like Umbu, he was still a person, a regular person. "So what's up, brat? What did you want to talk about?" "If it's about the scroll of seals sealed into your arm," said Tsunade as she looked at Naruto's right arm, which had a large orange fox with 9 tails coiling around his shoulder down to his bicep. "It's fine. Like I told you before, Sensei wanted you to use it and I do not need it. It's all yours." Naruto shook his head slightly. "No, Bie-chan, it's not about that. I was just wondering, have you noticed anything fishy about Sasuke?" asked Naruto as Tsunade looked confused. "What makes you think that?" asked Tsunade. Naruto placed a hand under his chin as he went into a contemplative pose. "Well, have you noticed how he made the transition into Umbu so easily? It's not a knock on his skills or anything, but even Tenzo-sensei and Yugao-senpai think the same," said Naruto as Tsunade nodded her head. "True. He does seem like he's done this type of work before, but I don't believe that's enough to warrant him acting fishy. Kakashi could have been helping him learn about it just as Tenzo has been teaching you. So there has to be something else that makes you say that?" questioned Tsunade. "Yeah, 2 more things actually. First, he had a visitor during his time in the hospital and I bumped into that guy when I went to see Sasuke with Yujito. He told me he was just some civilian wishing him well, but the guy had chakra like a ninja. Do you know of any old, crippled guy with a bandaged right eye and a scar on his chin that looks like an X?" asked Naruto. Tsunade showed no outward reaction but internally was shocked. "Danzo? What the hell could he want with Sasuke? Thought Tsunade as she nodded to Naruto. Yes, that's Danzo Shimura, an old teammate of Sarutobi-sensei. He was quite skilled as a shinobi but got crippled during the Third Shinobi War and has been an advisor ever since. You really have never seen him? Asked Tsunade as Naruto shook his head no. No, I've never seen him in person, but I have heard stories about Danzo from Gigi. Of course not. I'm not sure many people in Konoha have even seen Danzo, let alone heard of him. Thought Tsunade. And the last thing was what he said to me. It wasn't necessarily the last thing, but he told me to remember that every leaf in the forest has two sides. What the hell could that mean? Do you know? That's an old code from the Third Shinobi War. But that's only used by Konoha shinobi who go on S-rank missions and try to avoid persecution from the higher-up shinobi. Only the Sannin, Sensei, and the advisors know that code. Danzo must have told Sasuke. But why would he need it? I'll have to get down to the bottom of this. Thought Tsunade as she shook her head no to Naruto's question. Of course, she knew about the code, but why make Naruto grow even more worried about his friend? She'd handle it so it'll be fine. Tsunade then smirked slightly as she decided to get off the serious topic with Naruto. She was off duty, so why not have a little fun? Tsunade pulled out a picture and slid it toward Naruto. Naruto looked confused as he wondered what she was trying to show him. He picked up the picture and blushed immediately. How did you get this picture? There's no way that you could have took this. It was just me, Yujito. Izumo and Kotetsu took it, said Naruto. He was holding a copy of the picture of his and Yujito's kiss. Kumogakure's Hellcat and the Orange Fox of Konoha sharing a kiss. You do realize a picture like this would make someone extremely wealthy? Especially since we have to make copies of all letters sent to different villages. Like the ones exchanged between you and Yujito these past few months. I never knew you'd be so dash, said Tsunade holding pieces of paper that held the contents of Naruto and Yujito's letters. Naruto immediately snatched the letters out of Tsunade's hands as he tore them to shreds. Tsunade just smiled at his antics as she held up more copies. You think I didn't make copies, brat? You're just lucky, said Tsunade as she held up the original photo Izumo and Kotetsu had, and the letters between Yujito and Naruto. I got the originals before Jiraiya could get his hands on them. You owe me, brat. Naruto let loose a breath he didn't realize he had. He'd have been in one of Jiraiya's books had his sensei gotten that photo or those letters. What would I owe you, Bie-chan? Asked Naruto as Tsunade smiled slightly. I heard that you, Jiraiya, and Gamabunta all got drunk in the forest together one day, sometime during the Chunin exams. Drunk off of some special empty Mayaboku fire sake, said Tsunade as Naruto looked dumbfounded. How could you hear about that? That was months ago, Bie-chan? Asked Naruto. Jiraiya told me. You were the first to get to try the Toad's special sake besides the Toad's. Jiraiya also told me it was the best damn sake he'd ever had. Well, I want a taste. Give me a monthly supply every month and we're even, kiddo, said Tsunade. Every month? Why can't I just do it once? Started Naruto until Tsunade held up the evidence again. Blackmail? Kuchios? Said Naruto as he wanted to summon his baby-sized friend, Gamakichi. Yo! Came the deep voice of Gamakichi as he appeared from the smoke. Hey! Gamaki, holy hell. You got big? Questioned Naruto as he was looking eye level with his favorite toad companion. Gamakichi had grown so big that instead of him riding Naruto's head, Naruto could now stand on his. Hey, you humans are just slow. What do you need, bro? Questioned Gamakichi as Naruto got over his shock and told him the plan. You're crazy. But okay. If this doesn't work out and I get caught by Dad, I'm blaming you, said Gamakichi as he disappeared in a poof of smoke. Good choice, Gaki. Want to get hammered? Asked Tsunade as Naruto smiled slightly. Why not? It's been a hectic 6 months, said Naruto, prepared to bring back Gamakichi with Gamabunta's sake. Somewhere under Konoha. You know your mission, correct? Came the voice of a shadowed figure. The figure was speaking to an umbu with a raised collar and a purple hawk mask on. Hi. They will be coming tonight and I will begin my mission, said Taka as the figure nodded his head slightly. Do not fret about the Senju boy. I have safeguards in place to ensure your arrival. Just make sure you're late so you don't have to kill him early. I need you to gain his trust so Konoha can get Orochimaru's secrets," said the figure as it turned away. Before exiting fully, the figure spoke once again. "To be a shinobi is to sacrifice oneself, closing your eyes to the sunlight, distinguishing yourself in the shadows. That is the true form of a ninja. You're doing a great service for your village. Never forget that." Taka looked up as the figure vanished. "Hi, Danzo-sama," said Taka as he also left to prepare for his escorts to take him to Orochimaru. The next morning, "So close," said a panting Naruto. Naruto was laying on the ground in his umbu uniform, but instead of his umbu mask, he had on his headband. He was covered in bruises and had a few burn marks on his skin, but otherwise was fine. A chuckle was heard from a slightly beat-up Kakashi standing in the clearing with Naruto.
Mama.
"You could have won had you used your tenant's power, Naruto, or even your Kekai Genkai. But it does seem like I'm not that old yet," said Kakashi with an eye smile. "Stupid Sharingan. I'll surpass you someday, Kakashi-sensei," said Naruto as he stood up. "So you going on that mission now, right? You're almost 4 hours late. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Thank you for reminding me. I should be back tomorrow though. It's a simple one. So I'll see you around, Jarani," said Kakashi with a mock salute as he disappeared in a poof of smoke. "I still can't beat Kakashi without using Kurama's power or my Mokuton. I'll get him eventually. But for now, time for some ramen," said Naruto as he vanished in a shunshin to his favorite eatery. Several hours later, Naruto handed an old lady a bouquet from the inside of a flower shop. "Here you go, ma'am. Have a wonderful day," said Naruto with a smile. After eating, Naruto decided to help out at one of his favorite places in all of Konoha, the Yamanaka flower shop. He was having a swell time, and it seemed to get better as Shikamaru walked in.
Yo.
"Shikamaru, what's up?" said Naruto as he then noticed Shikamaru's frantic movements. "Naruto, you're here. Good. Tsunade-sama said she needs us for an urgent mission. It's important," said Shikamaru before he finished speaking. Naruto had appeared next to him and shunshined them to Tsunade's office. After appearing with Shikamaru in tow, Naruto noticed Kiba, Choji, and Niji standing there with him. "What's going on, Bie-chan?" asked Naruto. Tsunade looked toward Naruto with a very serious demeanor. "Sasuke has left the village," said Tsunade as Naruto looked ready to snap, but she stopped him. "We're not sure if he was taken or not, but Sakura claimed to have seen him walking toward the village exit, and we'll have to assume the worst. Kiba and Niji here will help you track him. Shikamaru is here to help with planning, and Choji is extra muscle. Your mission is to capture Sasuke and bring him back alive, if possible. Sorry that we couldn't get any more manpower for this mission, but you all are the best I've got at the moment. Naruto, you're the leader of the mission, so please make haste. And be careful." Finished Tsunade as Naruto nodded his head. "You guys ready to leave?" asked Naruto to his team. After a collective nod from everyone, Naruto took off out of Tsunade's window with them behind him. "Kiba, can you find Sasuke's trail?" Kiba sniffed the air slightly as he nodded his head. "I already did while Shikamaru was looking for you. Follow me," said Kiba as they all leapt away from the village heading toward where the Valley of the End was. "Naruto, Sasuke wouldn't become a traitor, would he?" Naruto had a serious face as he continued sprinting. "I don't know, but let's not discuss pointless things. We'll just ask Sasuke when we catch up to him," said Naruto as the team sped through the forest at a rapid pace as they were heading in the direction of the trail. Niji voiced his opinion. "Naruto-san, shouldn't this mission be for Jonin or at least a team of Chunins? Why is Hokage-sama sending 2 Chunins and 3 Genins?" asked Niji. Naruto didn't answer due to Shikamaru answering for him. "True as it may be, this mission is definitely not supposed to be given to us. However, my dad told me that the village is very short-handed at the moment due to the invasion. Meaning, missions are being taken no matter what to help with the rebuilding, leaving the village with few shinobi to guard it. Due to that, that's why we were handed this task." Niji nodded in affirmation as Kiba decided to make his thoughts known. "Who cares? We're gonna kick some ass and take Sasuke back to the village. It's simple. said Kiba with the utmost confidence. Shikamaru, Chuji, and Niji smiled at the opinion as it was definitely needed for the overall morale. However, Naruto didn't smile. He merely nodded at the words and continued to sprint through the forest, still setting a rapid pace. Sasuke better have a damn good excuse for deserting the village. Naruto seems pissed and I wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of it, thought Shikamaru as the group kept leaping through the forest, sprinting for nearly half a day and taking a rest during the night. The next morning, Naruto were getting close. I can see the group of 4 sound shinobi, and they are carrying a large circular box, said Niji, who had his Byakugan activated since Kiba said they were nearly upon them. They have stopped moving. It looks like they are carrying out a ritual. Shall we strike now? Asked Niji to Naruto as they landed in the trees surrounding the sound ninjas. Seems like the best idea, to ambush them and retrieve Sasuke. Shikamaru, what do you think? Said Naruto. Naruto was positive it was the best plan, but why not ask Shikamaru? It wouldn't hurt anything to hear from the genius. Shikamaru looked thoughtful for a few seconds, but ultimately nodded his head. That's perfect, but we need to strike now. Everybody ready? Asked Shikamaru. Seeing everyone's nod, Shikamaru turned back to the group in front of them. Let's go. When Shikamaru said the word go, a kunai with several explosive notes attached to the end landed on the tree beside the group. Shit, they spotted us, thought Naruto as the group jumped away to avoid the explosion, not without receiving the shockwave which ended up sending them further than intended. Naruto and Niji landed on their feet despite that, but Kiba, Chuji, and Shikamaru crashed into the ground, skidding slightly. The Senju kid. This will make it tough, but he still can't compete with Orochimaru-sama's cursed seal, thought Kadamaru, a member of the Sound Four with 8 appendages, 6 arms, and 2 legs. Well, look what we have here. I threw that kunai into the trees to catch a snake and instead caught several bugs, said Sakan, the member of the Sound Four who had 2 heads. Jirobo, stop them. The chubby member with an orange mohawk nodded his head as he went through several hand seals and said, Doton Kekai, Doro Domu, Earth Release Barrier, Earth Prison of Magnificent Nothingness. A large dome of earth quickly molded itself around the Konoha shinobi, imprisoning them inside as Jirobo kept his hands on the barrier. Go ahead. I'll finish this. We need to get the Uchiha to Orochimaru-sama, said Jirobo as his teammates nodded and took off into the forest. Jirobo then felt his dome get smashed in several places but only smirked. It's impossible to get out of this dome. Just give up. Damn. My Tsuga, passing Fong, did nothing to it but leave cracks. And even then, it's self-repairing. What do we do? Asked Kiba. Kiba's right. This dome is sturdy and I can even feel it siphoning off my chakra. How are we going to get out? Thought Shikamaru. Shikamaru then noticed that an area of the dome had recovered slower than the exact opposite side of the dome. That's it. The dome is weaker on that side, possibly due to him being on the opposite. If we hit it hard enough, we should be able to get out. Now all we have to do is dash, Rasengan, shouted Naruto as he smashed his jutsu into the side of the dome that repaired the fastest. Shikamaru knew it'd be useless until he saw Naruto shrouded in the Kyuubi's chakra. Naruto blasted an enormous hole directly where Jirobo was holding his hands. Due to Naruto's powerful attack and Jirobo being so close in proximity to the blast zone, he was sent flying back and smashed through a tree. What the hell? That was so ridiculously powerful? Said Kiba, confused at Naruto since he had 2 tails of the Kyuubi's chakra. I thought you said you could only use 1 tail? Yeah, I did too. But how come I access 2? Kurama? Questioned Naruto internally to his inner demon. Is the seal weakening maybe? Or could it have been last night when Jiraiya spotted you passed out after singing songs with that Senju woman? He did touch your stomach slightly, so maybe he loosened the seal? I wasn't really paying attention to it, so I can't really know. You'll have to ask him, said Kurama back to Naruto. Kurama could sense Naruto's next statement and decided to quell it before he said it. It's all right. You have proven yourself more than enough to have more access to my power. Though I think he only loosened it to give out 4 tails of power. Thanks, Kurama. And to finish him, thought Naruto as he charged up another Rasengan. which took on a purple hue due to Kurama's chakra. Naruto vanished in a shunshin to appear above the downed Jirobo and smashed the jutsu into his face. Jirobo was down for the count. There was no coming back from that, even if he had used his cursed seal. Naruto let his shroud fade as he turned back to his teammates. "Let's go. There's no time to waste," said Naruto as the five took off once again in hopes of catching Sasuke. "Naruto," said Shikamaru as they continued to leap through the forest. "If we want to catch Sasuke, it'd be better if we split up from this point moving forward. There are only 3 of them left and we still have 5 people, 6 counting Akamaru. Niji, can you take one of them alone?" Seeing Niji nod, Shikamaru was going to continue with his plan until Kiba spoke up. "I can take one alone too. But I won't be alone. I have Akamaru with me," said Kiba, getting a bark of agreement from his canine friend. "Plus, I owe that 2-headed freak for calling us bugs," finished Kiba, thinking about his teammate. "Shino, bugs are cool. Shino showed me that." Shikamaru sighed slightly. "Well, if you think so, then that settles it. Kiba can take the 2-headed dude, leaving Niji to take on either the girl or the one with 6 arms. Choji and I will take on whoever he doesn't face, leaving Naruto to get Sasuke and get him back to Konoha," said Shikamaru as the group nodded their heads at the plan. Naruto placed his hands in the snake seal. "Moku Bunshin no Jutsu, wood clone technique," said Naruto as he created several wood clones. "Just in case, I'll be able to help. You never know, Orochimaru could send them assistance." The group continued to leap through the forest to enact Shikamaru's plan. Naruto, Choji, and Shikamaru stood across the redhead girl member of the Sound Four as Sasuke was nowhere to be seen, nor was the rest of their respective teams. Niji had stayed back to take on the 6-armed member of the Sound Four. Kiba had taken the 2-headed member off the cliff and was battling him alone as well. Naruto, Shikamaru, and Choji had continued to pursue the last member, but upon arriving, they were met with another sound shinobi. He left Tayuya, the redhead girl, to stop the last 3 Konoha shinobi while he continued on. As they were staring her down, Shikamaru spoke to Naruto. "Don't worry, Naruto. Choji and I will handle her. You go get that new guy and bring back Sasuke. We'll be fine." Naruto nodded his head and leaped past Tayuya while Shikamaru and Choji distracted her. Naruto easily caught up to the newcomer and stopped him in the middle of a field. Sasuke was still in his barrel as Naruto faced down the white-haired shinobi. Kimimaro, if that was his name since the redhead said it upon his arrival. "Yo," said Naruto as he landed in the field with the other ninja. The ninja had pale skin, green eyes, 2 scarlet dots on his forehead, shoulder-length white hair. He wore a light lavender, loose-fitting, long-sleeved, zip-up shirt, black pants cut off around mid-calf, bandages wrapped around his ankles, shinobi sandals, and a purple, rope-like belt tied in an inverted bow around his waist. "If Tayuya comes back, I'll kill her," thought Kimimaro as he turned to face Naruto. "Let's see. How should I kill you? What does Orochimaru want with Sasuke?" asked Naruto. "It is of no importance. You came to get him back, and it's my job to get him to Orochimaru. No need for negotiation," replied Kimimaro in a monotone voice. "Come." Naruto vanished in a shunshin at that word to appear in front of Kimimaro and threw a hook out at him. Kimimaro shifted his head back with ease as he dodged Naruto's punch. The ninja then lashed out at Naruto with a sword strike. Except his sword appeared to be made of bone. "Is that bone?" thought Naruto as he backflipped away to dodge the slash. "Do you have a Kekai Genkai? Seems you aren't as weak as I thought. It is the Kekai Genkai of my clan, the Shikatsu Miyaku, Dead Bone Pulse. It allows me to freely control the bones in my body, and I'm the last of my clan, making me its last user," said Kimimaro as he held up his bone sword. "So basically you can manipulate your bone structure to use for combat. I'm sure you can also freely control how dense those bones are, because if they were just regular bones, it'd do you no justice," said Naruto as he prepared to use a technique. However, before he could move his hands, the barrel holding Sasuke began to emit a purple smoke. After a few seconds, the barrel exploded and a huge plume of smoke billowed out. When the smoke died down, Sasuke could be seen standing with his back to Naruto. Sasuke's appearance had changed though. Instead of his normal black hair, it was much longer, down his back and took on a blue hue. His skin also took on a darkish gray hue. Eventually, it all receded into the seal on his neck. Sasuke. Sasuke heard the voice and knew immediately that it was Naruto. Sasuke turned his head to look at Naruto with his Sharingan active. Without saying a word, Sasuke immediately leaped off to where Orochimaru would be. Kimimaro looked at Naruto as he said, "Seems your friend wants to go to Orochimaru off his own free will. There's nothing you can do about that. So just let him leave and die by my hands." Naruto had closed his eyes when he saw Sasuke leave. Upon hearing Kimimaro speak, Naruto immediately opened his now blood-red eyes and stared at where Sasuke had jumped off to. His eyes. Seems he has a strange chakra inside him, thought Kimimaro as he noticed Naruto's red, slitted eyes. No matter, I have to stop him, for Orochimaru-sama's sake. Kimimaro ran toward Naruto as he prepared to stab into him, only to get kicked away by a green blur. Konoha Senpu, Leaf Whirlwind, came the voice of the new arrival. Poised in his green jumpsuit, Rock Lee stood in front of Naruto in the beginning stance of the Goken. Lee started Naruto until he was cut off by Rock Lee. Please go on, Naruto-kun. I saw what Sasuke-kun just did. I'll handle this guy. You go get our comrade, said Rock Lee as he stared down Kimimaro. Naruto said nothing as he jumped on after Sasuke. After several minutes of following where Sasuke had jumped to, Naruto landed on a huge statue and saw Sasuke on the opposite one. "Sasuke!" yelled Naruto as Sasuke stood facing him. Naruto noticed he was standing on the head of his forefathers, Hashirama Senju, statue in the Valley of the End. Sasuke stood opposite of him on Madara's head as he looked toward Naruto. "Naruto," said Sasuke as he looked toward Naruto with his Sharingan blazing. "What are you doing? Are you really leaving the leaf?" questioned Naruto as Sasuke didn't say anything. "It doesn't matter. I'm going to kick your ass and drag you back," said Naruto as he prepared to clash with his best friend. Sasuke still hadn't said another word as he and Naruto jumped into the air and clashed. Naruto caught Sasuke's punch as Sasuke blocked Naruto's knee. The two landed on the water below, still locked in a struggle for dominance. After a short while, the two separated and stood opposite each other on the water of the river. Naruto's eyes were still red as he looked at Sasuke. "So you really are trying to leave?" Sasuke's Sharingan spun slowly as he finally responded to Naruto. "Yes, there are things that I need to accomplish." As Sasuke said that, Naruto flared his chakra to dispel a subtle genjutsu placed on him. "You know genjutsu of that level doesn't work on me?" said Naruto as he performed a shunshin to appear in front of Sasuke. Naruto was already throwing an uppercut that Sasuke dodged by stepping back before he had to jump over Naruto's leg sweep. As he jumped over Naruto's attempt at his legs, Sasuke lashed out with a kick to Naruto's head. Naruto evaded Sasuke's kick and grabbed his ankle. Naruto then stood back up spinning as he tossed Sasuke away violently. Despite the speed at which he was tossed, Sasuke managed to somersault and land on the side of the wall as he went through several hand seals. Katan. Gokaku no Jutsu, Fire Style, Grand Fireball Technique, said Sasuke before he unleashed a huge fireball at Naruto. Naruto placed his hands on the surface of the water as he prepared to defend against the fireball. Mokutan, Jukai Heki, with style, World of Trees Wall, said Naruto as dozens of branches rose from the water, interlocking as they grew in size to form a large wall. Sasuke's fireball smashed into Naruto's wall as after a few seconds, the wall stood firm despite the blackened areas due to the fireball's heat. "I don't have time to play around, Kurama," thought Naruto as Kurama immediately understood and channeled chakra into Naruto's system. Naruto gained an orange chakra shroud as he charged up a Rasengan. Naruto took off to charge through his wall. As Naruto burst through the wall, he was met by Sasuke, who had charged up a Chidori with Naruto's same intentions. Sasuke had black, flame-like patterns going on his face since he used some of the curse seal to combat Naruto's Bijou cloak. Chidori and Rasengan clashed against each other as the two battled for dominance once again. "You should know that this was a mistake," said Naruto as he gained a tail of chakra. Naruto then easily blasted Sasuke away since a Bijuu's power, especially Kurama's, would trump Orochimaru's power boost any day. Sasuke smashed into the wall of the ravine. As he laid in the wall, Sasuke smirked slightly as he let Orochimaru's cursed seal recede. You're right, Naruto. That was a mistake on my part. However, a Bijuu's power means nothing when compared to the full might of the Uchiha clan's Sharingan, said Sasuke as he came out of the wall while opening his eyes. His eyes were a different pattern though. Sasuke's tomo spread and converged along the edge of its iris, taking on the appearance of 3 intersecting ellipses. His eyes also inverted colors as there was a black eye with red designs. Kurama immediately recognized the shift in his eyes. Naruto, that is the Mangekyo Sharingan. Those eyes have the power to tame tailed beasts. Be wary of him, said Kurama as Naruto looked on with narrowed eyes at Sasuke. Sasuke's eyes seemed to glow slightly as he stared at Naruto. Let's see how you dance against my new eyes.